गिरवी रखने का कॉन्सेप्ट समझते हो तुम लोग? What is that called in contractual terms? Under the law of contracts?
Mortgage.
All of you have studied contracts. Pawnee, pawnee. You guys have not studied the law of contracts? Okay. See, the fundamental concept is कि अगर मुझे पैसे चाहिए and I don't have the money, when I go to borrow a certain sum of money, then I have to keep something as a security measure. Okay. So the person who is giving me the money, in case I can't repay him, he can use the security to get his money back. Alright? Is that simple enough? So, one of the things that can act as security is land. But you might think कि अब ज़मीन at the end of the day, because you guys remember that entire discussion we had कि the land by itself means nothing. There needs to be a right associated with that land. Okay. So when you go and deposit that right, that particular right you hold as a security for that piece of land, we call it a mortgage. Alright? In a mortgage, the financial transaction is the most important ingredient. सबसे essential उसका financial transaction होता है. So if I am going and taking a certain amount of money from you, that is the basis upon which the entire mortgage deed is executed. I can't just execute a mortgage without actually taking any form of money. I have to take a certain sum of money. Okay? So there are different sorts of mortgages also, we'll come to that. So mortgage में what acts as the security? The right I have decided to deposit with the person who is giving me the money. Remember, this is very important. It's a particular right. ठीक है? ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ paramount title ही mortgage कर सकते हो. You can mortgage whatever you have. If you have a lease, you can mortgage that. If you hold an easement, you can mortgage that. If you have a profit, you can mortgage that. You can mortgage anything. You can also mortgage a mortgage. Okay? If you have a mortgage, you can also mortgage that. I'll show you how. Suppose this is a parcel of land X. Okay? I am a paramount title holder A. I grant a lease to B. B decides to mortgage his lease. To C. What you need to understand is mortgage में splitting कैसे होगी, because you guys just recall how we are splitting every model into two parts ना. तो यहाँ पे this is a type 1 lease. In a mortgage, what is retained with B, okay, is not that important, because he basically retains everything. But the only thing that goes to C, okay, is, you can write it in short, a right to bring to C. Suppose the duration of this mortgage is 3 years, 2011 से 2014 तक. Alright. If B is unable to repay the loan he has taken by 2014, then what C can do is he can bring the property to sale. Now this is where I want you guys to apply some sort of intelligence. When I say that C gets the right to bring to sale the property, what do I mean by that? Yeah, I don't mean the land. He can't sell off the land. What he can sell off is the land. So in this case he can sell off the, okay, in order to recover his money. He gets to do this by way of a court sale. ऐसे नहीं कि खुद ही बेच दोगे. So you have to go to court and execute a suit for sale of property. Right? So what? That is what is with C. What is with B? With B, what do you think should be with B? B के पास क्या right आना चाहिए? It's the absolute opposite. Okay, it's very obvious. अगर मैं 2014 तक पैसे दे दूं, okay, then you can't sell anything off. Okay, you have to redeem whatever I have mortgaged. We call this a right of redemption. So, like I said, the entire thing is revolving around one thing only. The entire thing is revolving around the money. अगर पैसे दे दोगे तो आपका right of redemption will be fulfilled. Okay. अगर आप पैसे नहीं दोगे, then he will exercise his right of bringing the property to sale. The entire thing is revolving around the money, and we call this sum pledged as the mortgage money. Now, why I said कि let's just look at a few forms of mortgages, क्योंकि हर mortgage ऐसा नहीं होता है. There is a subtle variation in every form of mortgage. This model that we have, okay, we call this a simple mortgage. There is something called a usufructuary mortgage. What happens in a usufructuary mortgage is that the mortgagee, that is C, has to derive the mortgage money from the land itself. मतलब, if I execute if suppose this was a UM, okay, then B does not have any liability to pay the money to C. मुझे जाके आपको पैसे नहीं देने. Basically, you get to sit on this land and derive profits from it. So whatever is the usufruct, okay, or the fruit of the land, whatever is the fruit of the land goes to the mortgagee in order to satisfy the debt. Alright. So In case of a usufructuary mortgage, the mortgagee does not get a right to bring to sale, because obviously you are deriving the profits from the land. It's your responsibility to get that money out of the land. Okay? चाहे आप जो करो, चाहे आप उसे लीज कर दो, चाहे आप उस पे easements grant कर दो, you don't understand. Okay, whatever. Basically, you are supposed to get whatever money is being generated out of the land. This is called a right to get profits. So that is what is transferred in case of a usufructuary mortgage. Is usufructuary mortgage clear? No. You didn't understand. In case of a simple mortgage, what would C get? If it's a simple mortgage, what does C get? The mortgagee, what is he getting?
The rights.
No, he's not getting the rights. He's getting the right to do a particular thing. What is that? What is the mortgagee getting in a simple mortgage?
To bring to sale.
What does that mean? If in case my money is not repaid, I can sell off whatever right you had. In case of a usufructuary mortgage, there is no such thing. In case of a usufructuary mortgage, there is no personal liability upon B to pay the money. What C has to do is he has to derive the debt from the land itself. There is no personal involvement of B in repayment of the money. What he is doing is, he is mortgaging the land and he is making you sit on it. आप बैठो, आप जैसे पैसे निकाल सकते हो, इससे आप निकालो. Alright? So there is no personal liability attached on B. No, you can't sell off. Because you don't have a right to bring to sale. How can you sell off? You just get a RP, that is a right to profits. Alright? Now the thing you need to understand is which model is better. The second model is better. But in case of usufructuary mortgage, you don't get to do anything with the land. Once you grant a usufructuary mortgage, then who is on the land?
C.
The mortgagee is on the land. You have to get out of it. In case it's a simple mortgage, you don't. You get to stay on it. You just have to pay the money. So it depends on the particular circumstances. Exactly. Suppose it's you live abroad and you have a piece of land here and you decide to mortgage it. Then it might be more logical for you to grant a usufructuary mortgage. Okay. But suppose you live, because if you look at the transactions that happen, mortgage कौन देता है वैसे तुम you guys have idea? Banks जो होते हैं ना, ये जो home loans होते हैं, collaterals. So these have attached mortgages in them. अगर आप पैसे repay ना करो, then your house will be sold off. Okay, why? How will your house be sold off? Because the bank is the mortgagee. The bank has a right to bring to sale. That is why the bank will sell it off. Right? Yeah.
In the case of shadow banking companies like Muthoot Finance,
These are NBFCs, non-banking financial corporations.
In these,
They are called what?
shadow bankers.
Shadow bankers. Is this a?
It's a term.
Okay, alright.
So in this case, the companies like these take gold from the people.
They keep gold as the collateral security. Yeah, but they are not mortgages, no? Because what is the first requirement of a mortgage in regards to transfer of property act? There should be more. See, everything and anything that the Transfer of Property Acts talk about is rights over immovable property. Alright? That's why I asked you, do you guys understand the concept of pawn and pawn, these things? This is in the Indian Contract Act. So for movables we have that. For immovables we have this. Alright? So abhi tak the two mortgages we have seen, both of them, the mortgagee at the end of the day is not getting the land. उसे कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है. He's not getting the rights over the land, is he? In one case, he's getting to sell it off. In another case, he's just getting it for a temporary period so that he can just derive profits from it. Now, there are two things called a CSM and an EM. So, that's a conditional sale mortgage and an English mortgage. In a conditional sale mortgage and an English mortgage, what the mortgagee gets is a right to acquire the property in case the mortgage money is not repaid. Okay? So in conditional sale mortgage and in English mortgage, they are just different because of the mode of creation. Functionally, they are very similar. So in a conditional sale mortgage and an English mortgage, what the mortgagee gets is a right to acquire the property which the mortgagor had. So if this was an EM or a CSM, what would C get if the money is not repaid? No, just don't. इस केस में क्या मिलेगा? इस particular case में what would he get? Lease. He would get the lease. Okay. He would get to become the lessee. Alright. So basically, he acquires whatever right we have. This is called foreclosure. Alright. तो अभी तक तुमने तीन चीजें देखी. एक देखी तुमने right to derive profits, एक देखी तुमने right to bring to sale, और अब तुम ये तीसरी चीज बोल रहे हो उसे कहते हैं right of foreclosure. So in a right of foreclosure, the mortgagee acquires the interests of the mortgagor in case the mortgage money is not paid. Alright? But understand that foreclosure is something very difficult. ये बहुत मुश्किल है execute करना. Because if you think going to court is a bit troublesome, then getting the court to approve your foreclosure is very difficult. Because what Indian courts do is, in every case that the mortgagee is trying to sort of utilize his right of foreclosure, the court will keep giving chances to the mortgagee, to the mortgagor, sorry. This is your last notice, pay back the money, pay back the money, pay back the money. So even if he gives it in one installment, they decide not to grant the right of foreclosure. So it's a very difficult thing to do. Okay? And one of the primary reasons why this has become so is because, but in every case, B has, in every mortgage, B is having the same thing. Do you understand? The mortgagor is retaining the same thing. He is only retaining the right of redemption. उसके अलावा there is no change in B. Okay, there is no change in B's situation. All he retains is a right of redemption. If I repay the money, my property comes back to me. Alright. So one of the reasons why the right of redemption, why foreclosure is so difficult, is because the right of redemption is recognized as a constitutional right. Okay. Because it is recognized as a constitutional right, therefore, even the Supreme Court has said that we have to test it to the last extent that if a person is able to pay the money back on time. Because what you gave at the end of the day is money. Alright? So if that money, if that debt is satisfied with the requisite amount of interest that is applicable, then you should not be in such a position. So that is why the court gives a lot of chances in case of a mortgage to the mortgagor in order to satisfy the debt. Okay. So there is, so how many types of mortgages did we deal with? We have dealt with 4, I think. CSM, EM, UM and SN, a simple mortgage. The last thing that you need to look at is called an MDTD. An MDTD is a mortgage by deposit of title deeds. Mortgage by deposit of title deeds. It is similar in every way to a simple mortgage. हर चीज same है except the mode of creation. Okay. In a simple mortgage, you have to execute a mortgage deed. In an MDTD, what you have to do is just you have to go and give your title deeds to the person who is giving you the money. So it's much more physical in nature. आपकी जो deeds होंगे, आपके जो title, if you are a lessee, you have lease deeds. ठीक है? Everything, every transaction that we have dealt with so far, okay, a lease, a sale, a mortgage, an easement, a profit, everything that is granted has to be granted by way of a conveyance. Conveyance is basically, think of it in lay terms as a legal document. Okay, it's not like ऐसे कि हाँ हो गया sale. It's primarily contract which reaches the stage of a conveyance after it gets registered and everything. Okay, so these things I think I need to deal with also, but I'll come to it later. So everything is executed by way of a deed. When you sign a deed, you get a copy, the other person retains a copy. So when you are executing an MDTD, you need to take that deed and deposit it with the person who you are taking money from. Okay. So that would be a MDTD. So these are the 5 forms of mortgages that we have. Now when I just write mortgage, it means simple mortgage, okay? Can this be done? Can you mortgage a mortgage? No. Yes. Okay. तो मुझे बताओ D को क्या मिलता है?
Right to sell.
What? Sell what?
The rights that has been given by.
What are the what? He can sell a lease.
No.
Can D sell the lease?
No, sir.
What would D sell? What would D sell? It's very obvious. What would D sell?
Mortgage.
He would sell a mortgage.
Right to bring the sale.
He would. He has a right to bring to sale. But using that right to bring to sale, what can he sell?
Mortgage.
He can sell the mortgage. Okay. वो इस चीज को बेचेगा. समझ रहे हो? इस सिंपल मॉर्गेज में इस मॉर्गेज को मॉर्गेज कराया गया है. Okay. In this simple mortgage, the prior mortgage has been mortgaged. So this is the property that has been mortgaged. So obviously he'll sell that. So don't get confused by these things, okay? You can obviously mortgage a mortgage. This person can also grant a mortgage. Can this person grant a lease? Why can't he grant a lease? He doesn't have any leasehold rights. That is why he can't grant a lease. Okay? Now, all of these properties that we have discussed so far, all of these are dealing with a single parcel of land. Am I right? एक ही piece of land पे transaction हो रहा है ना? And easement is fundamentally different because for an easement there needs to be an involvement of two lands always. Okay. एक को हम कहते हैं डोमिनेंट हेरिटेज और एक को हम कहते हैं सर्विएंट हेरिटेज. SERVIENT, सर्विएंट. The purpose of an easement is basically to grant you the basic features that can exist over the land. Okay. So if I have a piece of land, what are the things? एकदम basic चीजें सोचो क्या क्या होनी चाहिए उसमें. एकदम basic. Think of it in very basic terms. I should have a but what would enjoyment entail? Enjoyment would entail the air, light, right to way, what? Right to a view. Yeah, okay. So all these basic things which you can think of are what is granted by an easement. There are two types of easement. Easement by grant and easement by prescription. Suppose it is something very, very basic. Okay. Then, okay, the dominant heritage holder has to grant that easement to the surveyed heritage holder. So this is the direction of our easement. It goes from the DH to the SH. सोचो ये रास्ता है. Okay. There is a forest here. There is a forest here. This is your parcel of land that you have bought. तुम्हारे सामने वाला प्लॉट और किसी का है. अब तुम रास्ते से यहाँ पे कैसे आओगे? There is a forest here also. All right. So what this other person has to give you is a right of way. तुम्हें रास्ता देना ही पड़ेगा. Okay. Otherwise it is physically impossible for you to get on the land, na? Because every time you would have to get on the land, you would have to make way through his land, and that would amount to trespass. Okay. So the dominant heritage holder has to grant a easement to the surveyed heritage holder, which we would call
easement.
No. Is it a easement by grant or an easement by prescription? See, if it's very basic, अगर देना ही पड़ेगा, then it's an easement by prescriptions. An easement by grant is something you are asking for. तुम्हें उसकी जरूरत नहीं है, but it's an extra thing. Okay. Suppose this person is granted that right of way यहाँ से. Now he wants another road. एक तो दे दिया, मुझे और एक चाहिए. So the next easement that he gets, suppose is a road by this way. That would have to be an easement by grant, because your basic need has been met. Alright. Now you are going for something extra. So that would be an easement by grant. Alright.